G'day everyone, James here with JWN Lawn Care and Landscaping, bringing you another video.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video today. I'm filming on my GoPro because my Sony one decides it's never going to hold its battery life, and so let's stop it. It's the 23rd of January today. It's nearly 9:30 in the morning. I'm taking today off. I'm doing some stuff with a few friends and just, taking some time away from work, and then we're going to be back doing some more lawns either this Friday or Saturday. It's Wednesday today. Friday sounds really bloody hot, so I'm thinking more Saturday, but that's Australia Day, which I don't particularly like anyhow, so I'll probably just end up working. So what I wanted to do this video on quickly was some big changes that are going to be happening in my business this year. Now, as some may know, some may not, I am going into year 12 this year. It's my last year of school. I don't need to get, but I really want to get into aviation at a university near here, which means I need a really good score, and I need to, do really well in all my subjects. I need to do a lot of flying. So that means I do not have time to run a business this year, or at least for the next 7 to 8 months. It's just going to be too hard on me. I don't have, 10 to 12 hours each weekend to be out mowing lawns, plus the rest of the time, at home doing admin stuff and making videos. So it's just not going to be possible this year. So with that, I've spent a lot of time thinking about it. I've talked with friends about it, I've talked to my parents about it, I've talked to other contractors about it, and I basically came down to 4 options. First option was I shut down the business. I thought, well, with all the time and money and effort I've put into it over the past couple of years, that'd be stupid. Like, why would I do that for a few months of, just needing to really concentrate on other stuff, because I'm going to need to have a decent paying job after I finish school anyhow to help me through university and everything like that, college as our American friends call it. So I thought that's out of the question. Next option was sell the business. Yeah, get a decent amount of cash from it, which would definitely keep me going for a while, but I'm giving up a big part of my life selling it off, and again, it still won't help me when I finish year 12. So I thought that's a silly idea as well. Next option was kind of divvy up my jobs and subcontract essentially out to other local contractors, because I know most of the guys in this area, so they'd take care of them for the next few months until I can actually take them back on again once I've finished everything up. Last option was hiring someone on to work during the week for me. Now, I did talk about that with another guy, Steve, who you saw at that big tree chipping job thing we were doing a while back. I've been talking with him back and forth for a while about doing it, but he said last time he worked with me a couple of months back, he said his phone had been all smashed up by a mate or somehow, some accident, so he's going to need to get a new one. So I imagine he's got a new number as well, which is why recently I haven't been able to get to him. I was hoping he'd be able to run it because he's a really nice guy, and want to give him the best chance I could, but it's now like a week and a half until school goes back. I don't have the chance. I was hoping I could spend most of these holidays training him, so that when I go back to school, he's ready to go out into the big wide world and do this all for me by himself. But that wasn't the case. I'm now a week away from school starting back again. I still haven't got onto him, so I'm like, well, I'll just have to find someone else. So I've basically come down to those last two options. So I'm looking at another local guy who's been in this area for over 25 years doing this. He's happy to take on a few more jobs as well if I need to. And we've also got my uncle who, you know, likes doing mechanically sort of stuff, getting his hands a bit dirty. So my mum spoke to him the other night. He's a bit hard to get contact with, but you know, that's a whole nother story. There's a lot of stuff going on for him, but I really hope that this can, you know, give him some more stuff to do, and he's really willing to do it. He loves the idea, so he's more than happy to give me a hand. So my hope is he'll come out with me on Friday or Saturday, and then I'll basically only have a couple of days after that as well to get him fully familiarised with all of my equipment, so that he can then go out and do it on his own. Honestly, I think I'll have to spend the first couple of weeks of the term, you know, on the weekends doing it with him still, because it takes a lot of practice, guys. I've got a lot of different equipment, and I'm lucky that I'm really mechanically minded, but not everyone is. So sure, I can pick up most of these things, and within about 30 seconds I figure out how it all works and functions, how you start it and so on, but a lot of people aren't like that, so I've kind of got to keep that in mind and make sure that I'm really explaining stuff thoroughly to them, because to me, a lot of this stuff, you know, they're like, oh, what do you do with it? I'm like, what do you mean? Because that's just, it's almost like second nature to me. I just think, I see this, that means I push that, do that, boom, starts. But a lot of people, they're actually baffled by it, you know? So, I'm gonna have to be training him up, and hopefully I'll get to show some of that. I won't be doing many videos this year. I'm sorry, I just won't have the time between drama stuff, school stuff, flying. I'm overloaded as it is, and I'm really seeing the seriousness of it now, because, you know, it's not like the past few years where, you know, if you don't do that well in year 8, if you don't do that well in year 9, oh well, you know, still move up, doesn't really matter. If you do really terrible, maybe you get held back a year. I don't think I know anybody, I can't think of anyone at my school who's had that happen in the time I've been there, and I've been there 13 years, so I can't think of anyone who's had that. All I can think of is one girl who did stay back a year because she spent most of what was supposed to be year 11 for her a couple of years back in hospital, so obviously she missed most of the stuff, so like, well, we can't have to do year 11 again, so she's going to be going into year 12 with us this year. But yeah, apart from that, you know, it's not common to be held back, but with year 12, like, that's it. I finish up, and whatever score I get at the end of this year sticks with me. So I just want to make really certain that I'm getting the best possible score that I can, and I'm not letting anything at all stand in my way of doing that. And unfortunately, that does mean that things like the videos will slow down a lot, and certainly me going out mowing will slow down a lot too. Like, I'm probably going to struggle to get 1 or 2 done myself every couple of weeks, because it's just study, and that's just part of it, right? So that's what's going to be happening this year. I'll still try and make some videos, you know, in some spare time if I can quickly, you know, make one. Mostly they'll be like reviews or how-to videos, or occasionally if I have some spare time I might end up going out with my uncle and we'll do some lawns together. But yeah, it's going to be dialed back a lot, and I knew it was coming. I didn't particularly want to do it, but as I said, I've had to really sharpen up and just face the reality of, you know, this isn't play school anymore. We've got to get serious here, because I'm only a few months away from being released out into the big wide world, and I need to make sure that I'm absolutely ready for it and have the best score I can possibly get, because there is a lot of competition in the aviation industry at the moment. There's lots of kids coming from overseas, you know where, who get really brilliant scores, and just naturally, and through ridiculous amounts of study. And so that is constantly bumping up the entry requirements into universities here and so on. And that's not even just for aviation, that's for everything. So, yeah, that's basically the lowdown of what's happening for me. So, over the next couple of weeks, I'm still going to try and do as much as I can, but after that, it's going to slow down a lot. So, yeah, look, it's been awesome. I love doing it, but it is going to have to come second for the next 7 or 8 months. I have to face the reality of that. So, I guess another quick thing I'll mention, even though I'm slowing down the business myself, it's still going to be running as normal in terms of who we're servicing, what we're doing. So that means I'm going to be still needing to purchase equipment, probably. Hopefully not as much, but, you know, still where it's required. So one of the things I'm going to be doing in the next few days, hopefully, is buying a new pole hedger. Now, you know, my Gardenline multi-tool goes great, everything, but the hedge trimmer attachment, it's you know, it's last few gasps, I think. So I am looking at either the KM131 with the hedge trimmer attachment, that's one option I have, or the HL94. We don't have any of the other HL models, it's only the HL94 in Australia, and it's new. So the KM131 and the hedger attachment would be a couple $100 more than the HL94, but I do have the attachment capability. Now, my thoughts against going with the KM94 is we probably use it up at our farm and so on, so I want to run the pick tines attachment and so on, and for pole throwing work or doing heavy edging work and so on, I want the high torque engine like the 131. So for those shorter tasks that need more power, I'd be happy with the extra weight of the 131, but we are doing long hours of hedge work at a couple of these body corporates now, especially, so I just, you know, and the Gardenline one, it just kills me, and I'm pretty confident the Gardenline multi-tool is about the same weight as the KM131, and I can't hold that for so long, because when you're holding these things up like here all day long, you feel it. So I'm thinking about getting the HL94 because we're doing enough work, hedge work, I think, that I can justify a dedicated unit because it's so light. I don't need tons of power for the hedge work we do. The 94 engine would have plenty of power. It's super light. I love all that about it. And then later on, when the Gardenline combi tool dies, get the KM131, and then I've got my high torque stuff. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think? KM131 and hedge trimmer attachment, or HL94, weight wise, power wise, and so on. I don't want to hear about echo because we don't have echo here. It's just non-existent, especially in my area now. You can find a couple here and there, way further out in some shops that are still, you know, running out their last echo models, but it's really not being sold in Australia anymore. Shindaiwa, basically the same as the Echoes, you know, not really interested in that either. Husqvarna, I'm not interested in hearing about, even though I love their products, but I don't have good dealers anywhere within, you know, a long way of me, so I can't afford to buy a product like that. I need good dealer support, and so yeah, for warranty stuff and so on, I want to make sure that I've got a perfect dealer, and Husqvarna does not tick that box for me, so I'm not interested in hearing about Husqvarna or Echo. Not interested in hearing about Maruyama. I know some of you American guys love Maruyama. We don't have them here either. I think I know one guy here in Australia, Matt Byron. I think he, MB Mowing, I think he got a Maruyama trimmer at some point a while back, but you know, that's the only one I've seen around here. They're certainly not in Victorian dealers anywhere around me, so basically Stihl is my only option. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about that, out of those two. I'm going to be going into Rob. He's just got the HL94 in, so he's got one there that I can have a look at, have a feel of, and the KM131 as well, so I can see the differences myself before I go and make a purchase. Let me know about that. Let me know what you think about what's going to be happening with the business this year. I know it's not ideal, but that's the way it is. So yeah, thought I'd just get you guys informed with what's happening. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to make another vlog later this week. But until then, have a good one and keep hustling.